If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, why do you need to know the difference between a condition and an objection, and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. All right, you've gone through your presentation. You've done the intro phase, the rapport phase, the discovery phase, and this has become super importante. The presentation, the money, the negotiations, and you get to the end and somebody says something to you. Well, what you need to realize is if you put this on a timeline, the questions that you ask are going to give you the information that you need when meeting with your buyer, your client, your prospective client. And you got to think of it this way. You're looking for the reasons why someone's going to do something and the reasons why they would not. And you may even have a question somewhere past the intro. You know, what are the reasons you would do this and what are the reasons you wouldn't do it? Like I asked that question. And they may come back and they may say, well, it's the money. Okay, well, everybody says it's the money. I mean, that could be a condition, like it's got to be this amount, it's got to fit in this budget, or it could be an objection because they weren't thinking it was going to be as much. Let me give you a real world example. 1991, I'm at Valley High School. That's where I went to high school, a couple miles from here, right? Valley Vikings. And I'm playing football and I get a back injury. And this back injury has plagued me my entire life. I messed up a disc. So a couple years ago, I'm going to look at cars. I wanted a new car. And so I tell the salesperson, I'm like, look, I have a very specific condition I'm looking for. I'm going to be driving a lot because of the role and responsibilities that I had as a consultant. I need to make sure that the seat is comfortable and I can get in and out of the car. After that, we'll talk price, we'll talk conditions, we'll talk terms, we'll talk everything. But the only thing that matters for me is the seat and how wide it is, and if it doesn't hurt my back, right? That is a condition. It's not an objection. It is a condition because it's the one thing that matters to me. Color of the car, I could care less. Brand of the car, I could care less, right? Those are all things that are like, whatever. It's gonna move from A to Z. It's gonna get me there. It's gonna move at a certain speed. It's gonna get a certain gas mileage. It's gonna have features. It's gonna have Bluetooth, whatever. But my condition was, it needed to have a comfortable seat. So I literally test drove everything. Now, for my car salesman people, I did not go on a weekend to go do these test drives. I went like on a Tuesday morning. I went like on a Wednesday afternoon. I did not mess with somebody's ability to close a deal on a Saturday or Sunday or on a holiday, right? And these are all things that are important. When you're in sales, these are things that you recognize. And this is why you should join my email list. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. So I go to a couple of different car dealerships and I drive the cars and I tell them, I say, hey, look, at the end of the day, this is going to sound weird. I literally just want to sit in this car for an hour. That's it. I'm not going to drive it. Just find me a spot over here on the lot. And the sales dudes, they think that they're doing their job and they're instantly going into price and terms. And from the very beginning, I told them my back condition says I'm going to be driving a lot and here's the things that I need to do. And so like, they're probing, they're doing all the right stuff, but a couple of them are not paying attention that that's what it is. So they're super trying to hard close me. And I go, hey, do me a favor. Go to the YouTube and look up sales training. I have 2,500. At this time, I had 2,500 sales training videos. I'm like, I get what you're trying to do. And I'm trying to explain to you that this is a freaking condition and not an objection. And so one of them went so hard in the paint that I was like, do me a favor, go grab your sales manager. So he goes and grabs the sales manager. Sales manager comes out. I was like, what's going on? I said, does your salesperson know the difference between a condition and an objection? And he says, I hope. And I said, let me explain something to you. Back injury, went to high school here in town, hurt my back. I literally need to make sure that the seat is going to be comfortable for 2 and 3 hour drives for me commuting back and forth to the Bay Area for a consulting gig that I have. And so the guy goes, I get it. So he had to calm sales dude down and say, hey, get out of the paint on this one. Your industry has a ton of versions of conditions. Your industry has a ton of versions of objections. There's like really 7 objections. But if somebody comes to you with a condition, then it's your role, it's your responsibility to figure out, how do I make this deal work in a way that's meaningful for them and takes care of them? How do I work with them to get them what they need, right? So the best sales guy that I had was a car that the seat was comfortable, I didn't fit in it. I felt like so I had to pick something that had a little bit wider seats because I'm not a small dude. I love the tacos, right? Something with a little bit wider seats and a little bit less back support. But the dude that did the best was the one that was like, dude, I don't care. Do you want me to go grab you something? You want a drink? You want hang out in the car? Like, sit here for an hour, do everything you can, play with all the features in the car. And I said, hey man, if I'm screwing up your sales process, go find another person. If this is the car, I'm gonna buy it. I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. I know the rules on a lot, right? You gotta twist the tie, you gotta get the turn, you gotta do all the stuff that you're supposed to do. But I greatly appreciate that he was like, do what you gotta do. You know, how you make your decision is how you make your decision. You got one of three things to do from here, just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, what would be really cool is if you share this video with a friend, because now you know the difference between an objection and a condition. Just think, somebody's got a back problem. They only want one thing that they care about. That's the seat in the car. Second is how wide is that area on the seat, because dude likes tacos. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.